Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to VALORANT Rostermania. Some major leaks coming out from the Tier 2 side over the last 24 hours or so. Some names that were linked with TSM now are going to an unknown organisation. And also Marved has revealed after we saw yesterday that he preferred to join NRG over the Sentinels roster. He described which players he's happy to take his place, saying that Bang from 100 Thieves as that controller actually doesn't have the experience in winning that he would like to replace him. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thanks very much indeed for doing that one. Plenty to discuss today. Firstly, just wanted to mention here the insane crowd right now at the Brazilian CSGO Major. This is in Rio, of course, but we are going to Sao Paulo for the Valorant event relatively soon. I think honestly they do appeal to somewhat different audiences. The Brazilian CS audience, like the super hardcore fans, right? Like these guys are absolutely insane. I don't expect we're going to see something quite to this effect here in the Valorant event, but it is pretty cool to see regardless that, Rio's definitely showing up here. And this is just the qualifiers. This is not even the real tournament. Hopefully, at least one Brazilian team, Fury or something, makes it through, and then they can have a team to support it in the actual playoffs, because, wow, the crowd has been immense at the CS Major the last couple of days. Now, this just to mention, because Chronicle, we saw the other day, signed a contract. We believe it's with Fnatic. And they're not exactly trying to hide it here, right? So Chronicle tweets this out, then Leo comes back. Of course, Leo confirmed recently to be joining Fnatic, then Chronicle replies, then Alpha Share from Fnatic, then Durka, then Mystic all reply like to this one as well. So yeah, it's only a matter of time until that one gets confirmed. And yes, also to mention this from Asuna, it begins, he says, because indeed scrims are starting up again. So practice is getting back into action with the new teams. We've seen other teams get going again recently, and yes, Stella, Cryo, Bang, Asuna, Derek, Coach Mike's, they're ready to go, and they will be preparing for the upcoming season as well. There is some off-season tournaments happening that various players are getting involved with. Not really sure we're going to see like full teams compete in these necessarily, but there will be some players teaming up with others, as FaZe this weekend are holding this FaZe Smeeg All-Star weekends. So bringing favorite pros and creators together to fight in this tourney. So pretty interesting stuff coming up this weekends. And as Zekan says, I may or may not be competing in this. So yeah, probably is. So yeah, different players are all getting involved in these kind of off-season tournaments, and I think it's kind of officially done by Riot in a way where they allow these tournaments to be set up and planned out so that there is something to watch from a competitive perspective for some of these new players, but we probably won't be seeing full lineups in many of these things until the season begins pretty much up in February. This quickly on Will, because we don't know what he's planning to do, where he's planning to go. We don't expect him to join Evil Geniuses, but he's trying to hint and pretend that that's going to happen right here, because of course he was dropped from 100 Thieves in favor of Cryo. You can understand the move, but I thought he did a good job showing his performance last season. I think it'd be good to see him on a decent tier 2 team and prove himself up again. EG, though, we still don't know what their full roster is going to be. We have a good idea, but as it stands, it's still far from guaranteed who the 5th guy is going to be. Superman is probably not going to be there. He's probably going to be stuck on FaZe due to a breakdown in communication there. Ethan, we think, is going to go to EG for sure. Will, we don't expect right now to be on the roster. And just to look at these then, the rumors that as we presently stands, Valid is meant to be the other guy over there with Evil Genius here. So blue here is confirmed roster, and then of course, well, the green ones are kind of rumored, not yet confirmed, this type of stuff. So yeah, only a matter of time until this type of stuff does officially get confirmed. But that's the EG team. I don't think Superman's going to be there. I think he's going to be on FaZe. But yeah, still, who knows what Evil Geniuses are up to be honest. This is the European side, just to mention quickly. So as we saw, a lot of this has been confirmed, at least, well, highly rumored. Fnatic has been highly rumored, but still, a lot of this not yet confirmed. So probably will happen over the coming days, but I've been saying that now for quite some time. And then this is the Pacific region, where pretty much everything has now been confirmed, with the exception of Team Secret, but I'm pretty sure even Riot kind of said that's what is going on over there as well. Let's talk then about the North American side again, because Nismo is excited for 2023 because he signed a contract, as has Koala Noob right here, we back. So this is really interesting because we saw some leaks for these players the other day linked potentially to TSM, and now that does not seem to be the case any longer. This is the latest off-season spreadsheet here from Flynn, and this is what it looks like. So again, we can see the FaZe Clan team of the expected roster there. We can see Shopify Rebellion, the Guard, these other teams, and some ones that may appear, may not appear. We don't know what's happening though with this unknown organization. This is a key talking point because BCJ and Nismo, I think, even were in conversation with TSM. I think there was discussions or trials going on there. We saw that TSM Nismo was a possibility. Now that's completely changed tune because Seven and GMD are probably going to stay, but now the unknown organization apparently has come through and signed some of these guys. We saw Koala Noob and Nismo, they signed sign their deal. Then apparently John QT is going to join them as probably a Xander, and then they need a 5th player, which might be BCJ, might be EU, we shall see. And BCJ we thought was going to be linked to TSM. Now that's unclear. They might have Rossi, Corey, Sabrosa. It's a messy situation, but some organization has swooped in here under TSM's nose, really, and signed a lot of these players away and locked them down to a contract in a new organization. Now, which org is this, right? And some people initially said, well, G2, but Flynn has not put this under G2, right? G2 is still kind of empty with a coach, right? Like, this is a new organization. Is this one of the kind of the Overwatch organizations looking to come through? We saw that Shanghai Dragons and the Washington, is it Justice or whatever they're called? Like, they're coming, or they're trying to come into Valorant, and they probably won't come in as the Washington Justice or whatever. They'll come in with whatever the parent organization is, the same way that Anbox own the New York Subliners and the New York Excelsior, I think, but in Valorant they were just Anbox, right? Or maybe they're not even called Anbox anymore, and they rebranded to NYXL or something now. Messy situation there, but the same type of deal, where if that does happen, it's probably going to be a different organizational name. Is that the org that's coming here? Is it another organization? Because we still don't know about, what about an OpTic, for example? Now, I don't expect OpTic would have done this, at least so quickly, but you know, still, we do hope that OpTic will come through, return to tier 2 at least, and some of these other organizations as well that missed out, will they keep going? And they've signed what could be a pretty scary team. So tweet your thoughts in the comment section below. And TSM might be thinking, well, damn, this is somewhat unfortunate, because I think they had a couple of these guys solidly on their radar, and now arguably some of the most talented players in North America, with Nismo and Xander and Koala Noob especially, getting signed up here and locked in, is potentially a pretty scary sight as well. And just to mention this from Nismo, because, well, Moose says here, Koala Noob 9 letters, Nismo 5 letters, 9 minus 5 is 4, TSM is 3 letters, 4 plus 3 is 7, 7 is on TSM, confirmed they're going to TSM. Now, as Ninja says, you're close, bro, it is, though, a 3-letter organization. Now, whether he's just joking around here or whatever, but still, interesting to note, a 3-letter org. Do you guys know anything that might potentially align with this? But, you know, he basically says that it's not TSM, and it's going to be another organization that is a 3-letter name. So I'm not really sure what that lines up with, but you guys can do the theory crafting, I suppose, in the comment section below. Let's talk Marved real quick, because we saw yesterday that he said, you know what, even if I wanted to compete this season, I would have turned down Sentinels, and I would have joined NRG alongside the old kind of core, and then some would have, I guess, disappeared, or some would have got dropped, or whatever the case would have been. But Marved says that, you know what, he's pretty happy with his decision, but he also says that the players that are replacing him, he's happy that that's the case. He reckons that, you know, Som is a great player. He reckons that he's a good, talented player to replace him. There's others as well, the likes of, you know, Sinatraa, Sabrosa as well as another name he mentions that he wouldn't be kind of mad if they replaced him. But he talks about 100 Thieves Bang, because there was quite some talk actually on the 100 Thieves side, whether they should drop Bang for Marved, whether that would be an upgrade. And Marv reckons that Bang's a good player. He doesn't really know too much about him, but he says that he doesn't necessarily believe he has that winning ability that these other guys have.
Should be FNS, Crashies, Vic, Artist, and Marv. Then we give ShahZaM. ShahZaM is nasty, chat. I want to see. Sam will be good. There's a few players that want to replace me. Sam is one of them. Sabrosa is also one of them. That's basically it, low-key. Sabrosa is ShahZaM. Sinatraa, I guess. Shanzo. Shanzo's really good at fragging, but I don't think they need someone who's
match found.
I don't know. I've never played on a team with Bang, so I can't tell, but they need someone that can communicate mid-round, give good ideas during practice as well. You know, someone who knows how to win. I'm not saying Bang doesn't know how to win, but you know what I mean? Sorry. That bear? Oh.
Interesting comments, I thought, from Marved in a way, just saying that he's, you know, happy for Sinatraa and Sabrosa and even Som to be replacing him, and he thinks that they're kind of valid replacements for him. But if the kind of the Bang question, when he compares himself to Bang, he's, you know, not sure that Bang really has that kind of winning experience and ability, which might be true to a certain extent. But do the other guys necessarily have that? Does Som necessarily have that, right? So I don't know. I thought it was interesting. He's not exactly being super disrespectful to Bang or anything, but you know, he's putting him in a different different category to those other guys, despite the fact that Bang very arguably recently has been the best controller player in North America, with the exception of Marved. And now Marved's not competing, Bang probably kind of, assumes that role to a certain extent of being the best controller in North America based on recent performances. But, still, I guess, look, at the end of the day, they did win the LCQs. It's not like Bang can't win anything, but, Marv seems to think that Bang isn't quite the winning experience player that a team like NRG might need to get the job done. And probably he thinks that, 100 Thieves would be better off with me than Bang because he brings that winning edge and experience, which might well be true. But I thought the comparison there between Bang and some of the other players he mentioned was kind of interesting because, to me, if you're going to get replaced by a player, Bang is not exactly a bad name for that team to bring in if they want to also see success. So very much intrigued to your thoughts on that one in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.